Back in Sweden for the second time in Malmö, the third DreamHack Masters kicked off in late August. Everybody wanted to test their strength in this world-class competition.
In 2017 I was in a really weird state of mind when it comes to CS, but yeah, in general the G2 super team had a lot of pressure on them.
Going undefeated through the group stage, G2 gained confidence. Now the Brazilian powerhouse SK Gaming waited in the playoffs.
They were like the best team in the world, literally at this time. And I remember that we should have lost that game.
Very good now. Apex has been playing like an absolute beast. 3 in total, all headshots, of course.
We knew that the task we've just made was probably like the biggest step of the tournament, you know?
One pistol's here, but that's giving it up. Kenny S hits the first 2 shots. Of course he does.
The semi-final was really exciting to play because, well, first of all, everybody loves an IP. So it was really exciting for us to play against the crowd. I personally enjoyed that a lot. We never let the game go, you know, which could have happened, but we never did.
In the grand final, G2 faced a somewhat unexpected opponent. North, with newcomer Valde showing off his strength.
Back to pistols for the north side of things.
The flank for Apex not quick enough. Valde comes charging through it. And North winning a critical round here at the grand finals.
We didn't have a beef, but I would say that it was a pretty cool matchup to play. And we are really happy to destroy them every time we had the opportunity to destroy them.
Just 20 seconds flash into the middle. A great setup here. Body gonna get one and shots will follow it up close range. 10 seconds left now. 9 seconds. Flick comes in on Valde dropping the bomb. G2 Esports have played an incredible tournament, just 1 kill away, and it's going to happen. 16-9 as G2 are your DreamHack Masters champions.
We are 3 days into the DreamHack Masters winter, and today we're going to be sending more teams to the playoffs, and one of them could be 2017 Malmö champions G2, but we're also going to be saying goodbye. Who to? We'll soon find out.
DreamHack Masters Winter is brought to you by Intel, Corsair, Monster Energy, and MSI.
To the DreamHack Masters Winter. My name is Frankie Ward, and because I've been put to shame by Mr. Scrawny and Mr. Launders over the last few days, I decided to get an iron out and try and wear a shirt. I mean, I feel like I am wearing the shirt, so the trying is working so far.
Whose funeral is it, Frankie?
My career's. Now, I want to ask you boys to do a little bit of maths for me. Normally, Elliot does it for us. He does the amazing facts that you'll see coming up during the games today. How many burgers have you boys eaten collectively during the last 3 days in Sweden?
I had 2 Big Macs for breakfast today, so that is 48 hours in Sweden, 6 burgers deep. It was good.
And a lot of tropical Fanta.
It's exotic.
Yeah, exotic, sorry.
Exotic.
I am operating right now on a particular fast food brand ice cream sundae, which had more whipped cream than sundae, and it had dime and caramel, and I think there's some still lodged in the back of my mouth that I'm going to enjoy later. We could not do this, by the way, without our sponsors, Monster Energy, Corsair, Intel, MSI, and the US Air Force. So thank you so much to them for making this all possible. And talking of fast food, we got some takeaways from yesterday. So, Scrawny, talk to us about Cloud9, because they never heard the lesson, always be closing.
Yeah, I mean, Esatag came into that game talking some smack, man. He said that was going to be a heyday. A heyday is what he expected their matchup to be versus ENCE. He thought they were going to completely dismantle them. And after the first half of the first map, I was all aboard. But then we had a little bit of struggle. Alex, I mean, in the post-game interview mentioning how he was feeling a little under the weather and his calling wasn't necessarily as crisp. He said he didn't tap into some of their preparation, some of their strategies. And I feel like we saw that. The T side got a little stuttered out. It started to spit, and then all of a sudden, they did close. It took 3 overtimes, but they did close. Map 2, Nuke, made it look like Esatag was correct in saying it was going to be a heyday, and then Cloud9 showed us a little life. So they need to improve on closing some matches, but maybe we chalk it up to Alex not being 10 on 10.
Yeah, he was like, 50 kills. So nuts.
Yeah, we need to get that boy some lemsip. Also, from you, Launders, there's a particular story of joy, something we love to see when we're at big tournaments like this, and that is Gambit taking down 2 massive opponents to book a place in the playoffs.
Great tweet, by the way. Juggernaut and Colossus, they're actually the 2 out of 3 worst X-Men. The number 1 is the Gambit. Beat them both, 2-0'd them, put them in their place, and these are the guys who came as the underdogs, the guys who are getting some more respect recently, with Shiro, Nafany, with Axal, all leading the charge, doing amazing work, and they are going to be a team in playoffs that might be the favorite because of their most recent results. I'm wearing red for Gambit today.
I don't think they're going to be the favorite, personally. I mean, Heroic are already through to the playoffs.
Heroic didn't beat anyone as good as they did.
Yeah, but Heroic have won multiple tournaments this year. They won Cologne, they won Beijing?
Who won a tournament on Friday?
Who won a tournament on Friday?
Maybe it wasn't Friday. Sunday? Sunday.
There's tournaments literally every day. The only tournament I care about right now is this one. So let's take a look at the Group A bracket. And we can see, as we've just mentioned, Gambit through to the playoffs along with Heroic. And yes, they did 2-0 Spirit, but Spirit look good. I mean, they look great against FaZe.
Sure.
Yeah. But Contact also took a map off FaZe, and they did that without Emmy.
All right.
And he's been a real godsend for it.
Okay. Well, we're going to be talking, I'm sure, about Emmy soon, because he did take down Astralis. He did top frag against Astralis, and that is a story probably for about 10 minutes' time. But in the lower bracket, Complexity have got a face-off with FaZe, and Cloud9 have got a face-off against Spirit.
Yeah.
What if the Cloud9 boys go home? You're their official casters.
Yeah, that's true. But also, when we cast, they don't really lose very often. We're 3-1 right now for Cloud9 cast, so might be the good luck charm. The one loss we casted was the Mouse game. Mouse definitely looked like the better team, but Spirit will definitely have some struggles so far. We're seeing some consistency. I think ENCE was a good test for teams around the level of Spirit, if that makes sense. So I think they should be good odds to win that game, along with Complexity to win theirs.
And Godsend versus Mouse. That's going to be a really interesting matchup, because Mouse are looking hot to trot at the moment. Godsend, the fact that they took down Astralis, they're going to have so much confidence in the server.
I will pick Mouse versus any team in the playoffs at the moment. They also beat Heroic. They also beat Complexity. They beat Cloud9 as well. Or did they beat Complexity and Cloud9? Or just Cloud9? I don't think they maybe haven't fought to Complexity just yet. But Mouse have just been getting better and better. Confidence is really high. All the players are looking really good. And in their interviews, BMAS and Robs both said about themselves that they were at the top of their game.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can win then, because if they're at the top of their game right now and they don't win, that doesn't bode well for the future. But let's take a look at the schedule, because you also noticed there, I'm sure, G2 versus Furia, and that is going to be our second match on the A stream today. So excited for this one. I cannot tell
Frankie,
you.
yes!
I cannot wait to just hijack your cast. Oh, I wasn't meant to say that out loud. I can't wait to stand on the sidelines and applaud your cast.
Frankie, you can't take away something you're already a part of.
Yay! Oh.
Our cast.
Oh my God, these guys are so nice.
I am right there with you. That second matchup, G2 versus Furia. I mean, if I didn't have Astralis and Team Liquid as an appetizer,
It beat out anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
except for Complexity versus Cloud9, which might come.
That is maybe the very best.
And
a lot of good matches here, is what we're saying.
Over on the B stream, Namiga Gaming are going up against North, and that one is going to be cast by Vincent Tom. They're on the B stream, twitch.tv/DreamHack CS2. You can't currently see them on the B stream. I think they are getting ready to cast the match because obviously it starts a little bit later than us because they don't have a pre-show. But you can watch that Kenny VT all over again. So if you open a new tab and you just want to see a little Kenny S a couple of years ago when he was probably about 14 years old, you're welcome. But right now on this stream, because I seem to have retired from doing interviews, you know, it's been a busy year. I've just not had time for anything, quite frankly. I've been traveling all around the world, doing loads of different games. That is all a lie. But what is not a lie is that Get Right is actually a fantastic natural interviewer, and he caught up with Nico.
For almost my entire life, playing Counter-Strike was everything, and it was everything I dreamed of. I won trophies, traveled the world, and played in the biggest arenas. I spent my career as a player being asked the same stupid questions.
How do you feel?
Over and over.
What went wrong?
And over again.
You had a terrible CT side. How did you turn it round to take the game? Why are Astralis the best team in the world?
But now I've decided to face a new challenge, to interview the players I once faced on the servers. Because if Frankie can do it, I mean, anyone can do it. Hi Nico, thank you so much for taking your time to chit-chat with me for the upcoming Masters tournament. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey Chris, I'm doing all right. Just having an off day right now, so I'm happy to do some content with you. I haven't seen you in a long time and heard of you, so always happy with some interviews.
Thank you. I appreciate it big times. Okay, so let's just get right into it. Like, I know since this year has been very special for basically everyone in the scene, especially for you, since, I mean, you changed team, also because of the COVID, so there's like no lands and all that kind of things. But since you've been doing such a big growth in general, like you've been working out more, getting more healthier, you know, your lifestyle has changed a lot through the years. Like, how would you describe your like mental stage and your health-wise when you like came into the big leasing phase, basically?
It helps you a lot just to like release some pressure after the game or like even before the game. Like if you have like routine before the game, like it just puts you in the right mindset once you get into the game. Like, you know, okay, like I did my routine now, like I'm feeling ready for the game. Like if I don't do my routine before the game, I just feel like I don't have a feeling that I'm playing the game. So I always try to like have some routine before it. Nothing too crazy, but just some like physical activities in my life helped me a lot. So I would recommend everyone out there who is not doing to start doing it. I think it's gonna help them a lot.
I think that's like a good mentality to have as a professional gamer, and surely it helps like health-wise as well. You know, it's a big factor into that. But like
it helped me a lot throughout the career, definitely.
Did like face like, hey, we got a trainer for you to help you out and all that kind of stuff? Or how was it for you really back then?
Yeah, like no one really forced me to lose weight or start working out, honestly. Just myself, like I could not imagine being a superstar and not looking healthy or like not looking good. So that's kind of the mindset I have. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna be a superstar, like I wanna be a role model for everyone. So that was the reason why I started doing it.
Impressive, Nico. Impressive. Like it's a really good describing of yourself. I think I don't think anyone would describe it like that, but when you're saying it, it makes complete sense of like, you're a little bit cocky, but you have all rights to be so because you're so fucking good. That's how I see on it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people see me cocky already and with a big ego and everything, but honestly, like I'm just always being honest. It's just who I am. Like I can't change, and yeah.
I mean, it's not cocky when it's true, right?
I mean, for some people it isn't. So that's why they take it differently, which I understand. For some people, I'm not a superstar. I didn't achieve the things that to be the one, so I understand it. But I believe that I have what it takes to be one at least. Yeah. So I'm doing everything together. I
mean, if someone would disagree with you regarding that, then I would say that they're just stupid if you ask me a personal opinion, because you are, man. You are. But thank you so much, Nico, for having the time and taking the opportunity for the interview. I would love to actually speak more, but you know, it is where it is, but still looking forward to the next game, and good luck on DreamHack Masters.
Thank you, Chris. It was great talking to you, man.
Absolutely smashed it, Get Right. Thank you for joining Nico for that one. Thank you, Nico, also for being one of Get Right's victims this week. One of the things I found really interesting from that interview, because I got to sort of stand at a distance and type up and make notes on what was being said in the interview, was actually Nico talking about not staying in FaZe. He said, I couldn't stay in FaZe. I did not want to invest in the team anymore, so we couldn't afford the players we wanted. We wanted to get Alex. We wanted to be the best in the world. Everyone wanted to see us playing finals. I'm not happy with semi-finals. I want to be in the finals winning. And during COVID, we couldn't travel to a boot camp, and it's hard to stay focused when you can't see each other. So it was a really tough period. And he's very sorry to leave cold, but he could not stay in FaZe. We could not rot together. So far, FaZe isn't rotting. They've got one more chance to be in this tournament. But it does seem like FaZe need a rebuild now that Nico's not there.
I would say that they're... Actually, no. I would say they are rotting. I'd say that, I mean, that's just using his words. I mean, I think that's a really good descriptor. The fact that he ended on that line, I think, really tells you kind of what the vibes inside of the FaZe camp is, because they themselves mentioned, right, it felt too emo. That's what Rain said. It feels emo at the moment. So I wouldn't say they've rotted yet, but they are in the process of doing it, man. They're down in the lower bracket. They've lost a map to Contact. That is a scary situation for FaZe, because either we're going to watch some players kind of fizzle out in this tenure, or maybe they reinvigorate somehow. But right now, that process is definitely underway.
Well, let's take a look at the stakes here at DreamHack Masters Winter. I'm not talking about prize pools here. I'm talking about points. This is a point allocation for DreamHack Masters Winter. And we already have a few teams who are qualified to the Katowice, because this is part of the road to Katowice. ESL Pro Tour, really, it's all about Katowice and Cologne. These are the events that every team wants to go to. The Spodek, the Laxness, these are iconic venues. So let's take a look at Europe and see how the points are falling, because Team Vitality, Heroic and Astralis are all guaranteed to make it to Katowice. Na'Vi are guaranteed to one or the other, I believe, just from my notes. That means that they are guaranteed at least a play-in spot. Results are going to decide for them. So basically, their spot in Katowice, whether it's direct or play-in, depends on how all the other teams play. And FaZe Clan, you can see they're currently in the space for a direct spot, but they might not be guaranteed it.
No, definitely. Complexity, Spirit, Mouse here, we look at a first or second place finish between those three teams could completely change the standings, knock FaZe out of that top 6 spot. And like Mouse or Complexity, that's extremely likely.
Agreed.
And for Spirit, it's maybe likely, but we'll see.
Katowice really is going to be about the teams that managed to thrive under the pressure of what was a very, very unusual year. And what makes this year even more unusual is that Liquid and Astralis haven't faced each other in 2020. But they will be after this break.